Defense Minister Aden Duale said Wednesday that Kenya Defense Forces troops will complete a withdrawal from Somalia by December 31, 2024. The last troops are expected to leave Somalia on the 31st of December, 2024 as per the AU and UN Security Council resolution and plan, Duale told the Senate. He said Kenya began withdrawing troops from Somalia in April 2021, as part of a phased withdrawal of the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia. 400 soldiers each from Ethiopia, Uganda, and Kenya are among the 2,000 ATMIS soldiers who have so far left Somalia. An additional 200 soldiers from Djibouti and 600 soldiers from Burundi have also left.
Still continue to work closely with the Kano so that we can support them until they establish themselves to fully support the area of responsibility as we'll be doing with them for the period we've been here since 2019.
The deployment of Kenyan troops to Somalia in 2011 was prompted by a series of kidnappings carried out by al-Shabaab terrorists. At the time, the terrorists posed a grave threat not only to Somalia but to the stability of the entire East African region. Kenyan soldiers, who now number more than 4,000 according to Duale, have worked tirelessly alongside other ATMIS forces to combat the al-Shabaab terror group. He said the efforts of Kenyan troops have been instrumental in degrading the capabilities of the terrorists and restoring a semblance of stability in various regions in Somalia. Despite significant successes in countering terrorism, the mission has not been without challenges. Hundreds of Kenyans have been killed. Duale declined to give the exact figure, noting the government had fully compensated the families of those who lost their lives. Kenya postponed a plan to initially withdraw 754 troops on September 30. Duale noted there is a need to support Somali forces in their battle against al-Shabaab in central Somalia, which demands continued collaboration with international partners. He said Kenya remains committed to regional peace and stability and will continue to support efforts to counter terrorism in the Horn of Africa. According to Duale, the compensation amount depends on whether the officer was serving within Kenya or on international missions. If the officer is serving within our country, he immediately gets 4 million Kenya shilling above his pension, which has a component called death gratuity. If he's serving in ATMIS like in Somalia, apart from the 4 million Kenya shilling, the AU and UN give that family $50,000 approx 7.4 million, Duale said addressing the Senate. The sum under the KDF death gratuity is designed to assist surviving family members with immediate expenses and readjustment. CS Duale also highlighted that the support doesn't end with financial compensation. KDF have a comprehensive compensation policy that extends to injured personnel and their families. This policy encompasses widows, orphans, dependents, and service personnel living with disabilities. We have a very robust compensation policy within KDF, and families who've lost their loved ones are entitled to compensation package that includes financial support, which is promptly disbursed within 2 weeks, he remarked. Section 245, subsection 10 of the KDF Act obligates the government and more so the Ministry Defence and Kenya Defence Forces to compensate members of the KDF who lose their lives or suffer disability while undertaking military duties or training. Regarding Kenya's involvement in international missions, Duale credited the efforts of the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia in fostering regional stability. There is a semblance of a stable government in Somalia today. The Somali government has established and generated enough force, and today you see the presence of Somalia at the forefront within Somali national forces combating terror. That was not the case 5 or 10 years ago, he posited. I want to assure this House that the day for al-Shabaab in Somalia and in our region is coming to an end. Kenya initiated Operation Linda Nchie in 2011, entering Somalia with the goal of combating the al-Qaeda-affiliated al-Shabaab Islamist group. This decision followed a series of border attacks and incursions by the militia group along the Kenya-Somalia border, endangering Kenya's national security and interests. To sustain the gains made by the KDF in Somalia, Kenya was invited by the UN and AU to integrate its troops into AMISOM in November 2011. This formal integration took place on February 22, 2012, through United Nations Security Council Resolution 2036.